Well, Barack Obama shoots down a call from Hillary Clinton to face off for the May 6th primaries in Indiana and North Carolina. Clinton is trailing in delegates and the popular vote ahead of those contests. She says she will debate Obama without a moderator, but Obama's campaign says after 21 nationally televised debates, they want to focus on talking to the voters. The latest Real Clear Politics poll shows Obama ahead by 3 in Indiana. So, do Indiana voters want another face-off between Obama and Clinton? Radio host Abdul Hakim-Shabazz joins us now to talk about what his listeners are saying. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon or good evening. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. Good to see you.
Not a problem. Good evening.
Okay, first I'd like to talk to you briefly about race and about Reverend Wright. Let me ask you this. In your experience, in your opinion, do African Americans and whites view Reverend Wright the same way?
I don't think so. I think what you'll find for a lot of African Americans with Reverend Wright, as an older African American, is just saying some of the things that are probably in the minds of a lot of older African Americans. I think what this division clearly shows, though, is the old line about Sunday mornings are still some of the most segregated places left in America because so many whites and so many African Americans go to church in different places. But what I think what Reverend Wright really boils down to is what you take away from him is what you bring. If you didn't like Barack Obama before, Reverend Wright just adds to it. If you like the guy, you keep Reverend Wright in context.
The damage control that Reverend Wright may or may not be engaged in right now, I'd like to see if you think it's having an impact. This is a segment of the Bill Moyers interview from Friday night. Reverend Wright on PBS. Take a listen, please.
You preached that sermon on the Sunday after 9/11, almost 7 years ago. When people saw the sound bites from it this year, they thought you were blaming America. Did you somehow fail to communicate?
The persons who've heard the entire sermon understand the communication perfectly.
I watched the entire interview. Maybe you're right. It comes down to where you're coming from. But the more he explained, the more confused some people I know got, whether they were black or white.
And that's also part of the thing. I mean, sometimes the best thing to do, I know this is going to sound weird for somebody in talk radio, but sometimes the best thing to do is just be quiet and stop talking about it and lay low until after the primary. And I think if Reverend Wright does that, he'll save Barack Obama a lot of grief and hassle. Now, I still think Barack is probably going to end up being the nominee in the short run, but Reverend Wright just adds fodder for Republicans.
Okay, right now in your state, Barack Obama 3 points ahead on average in most polls. You've heard of the Bradley effect, however, and we're hearing about that more and more, where folks talk to a pollster on the phone, they say they're going to vote for the black guy, but they, in their hearts, have no intention to do that. Do you sense the same thing could happen in Indiana?
There could be some of that, but here's what you have to keep in mind in Indiana. According to our Secretary of State, Todd Rokita, we've had about anywhere from 150 to maybe 200,000 new registered voters show up. And no one is really quite sure what those new voters are going to do. So a lot of that polling data, you could argue, is actually with already established Democratic voters. Now, here in Indianapolis, Marion County, there are about 60,000 folks who've either been added to the voter rolls or changed their voter registration. So you can assume, since Barack does so well with those new voters, he's already got sort of a built-in constituency here in Indiana.
5 seconds, please. Do you see any chance that they're going to do a debate, Hillary versus Obama, without a moderator?
I'll be the grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan before there's a debate in Indiana between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. How's that for 5 seconds?
Wow. Okay, and that is quite definitive. Very good, sir. Abdul Hakim-Shabazz, good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, tonight at 6 p.m. right here on the Fox News Channel, you don't want to miss the interview that we've been waiting for almost 2 years. Chris Wallace and his exclusive interview with Barack Obama. That's tonight right here at 6 p.m. Eastern, right after our show.